What up, you guys? Today we're gonna do something a little different. We're gonna do a chatty work with me. So what that means is I'm at work and I'm working on a project and you guys are gonna be here with me while I do this. I had a different camera angle set up a little bit closer because I have a table. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So right now I'm gonna go through all of these t-shirts and find out or determine actually which ones I'm keeping and which ones I'm tossing. So a lot of these items right here, actually, so this is the stack. This, I'm just gonna place them on here, the ones that I'm gonna keep, and for the ones that I'm gonna toss or maybe put on auction, I'm gonna put in those bins right there. So here we go. Also, I want to talk a little bit about mental health and the signs that I was noticing within myself, that my mental health was starting to deteriorate. And I'm talking about right before I got the part-time job, what led to it. If you guys are new here, welcome. I resell clothing on eBay full-time, which means I go to thrift stores, yard sales, estate sales, buy them for cheap, buy them for like $1 or 50 cents, and then resell them online on eBay for profit. Best job in the world. If you could get it to a point to where you could do this full-time, it's freaking awesome. It's the biggest blessing. Swear to God, man, the biggest blessing, man. Just having the freedom to work while I'm working and talk to you guys a little bit. So like I said, this will be a chatty work with me vlog. We are going to go through this pile, or I am at least, and I'm going to talk about mental health. I used to do this full time. I still do it full time right now, but I was doing it full time, and I let things in my personal life really get to me. And therefore, the only things that really get to me are like family related, like my immediate family things. Those are pretty much the only things that really have an effect on me. Everything else, I don't give a fuck. Honestly, I don't. That's a whole nother video in itself. The power of not giving a F. It's beautiful. I mind my business, keep my circle small, and I just focus on myself. You know, I am not where I want to be in life, but I'm happy with the direction of it. You know, I never thought I would get to this point to where I would have my own business, a thriving business. I never thought I would get here, man. Like, I was hooked on dope, opiates for 13 years. You know, if you guys are new here, started off with the pills, did the opiates. I'm sorry, did heroin for like 11 years. So grand total 13 years of opiate addiction. Prior to that, I was always partying, hitting the bars, you know, just doing various drugs. The drug I did depended on where I'm at and what I'm eating. And when I say that, I'm talking about alcohol. You know, there were certain beers, certain liquors I liked with certain meals, and I'm still like that today. Not with alcohol, but with soda. I drink so much caffeine, it's ridiculous, dude. And that's something I want to put in check. My sugar intake is high, and that's one thing I really want to work on. I think that may be from the methadone. I drink a lot of energy drinks because it's methadone, just makes me feel fatigued, and it sucks. There are two things I hate about methadone. The way it makes me feel, like tired, I feel really fatigued. And when I wake up in the morning, I feel uneasy. It's similar to a withdrawal, basically. That's what it is. You feel uneasy and minor chills. You just feel like crap until you take that methadone. But on the bright side, that's the only thing that kept me clean. That is keeping me clean. So I'm thankful for that, bro. Like, I'm just doing what I have to do to stay clean, and if it takes being on methadone for however long it takes, I am going to do that. Thankfully, it's been working. So speaking of working, let's get to it. All right. So like I said, going through this pile, nice little size pile. Going through that, figuring out what I'm keeping, placing on here, what I'm tossing, or maybe putting on an auction on eBay, putting in those two bins. There's no difference between those two. So let's get to it. As I said, this is a Chatty work with me. I've seen some other channels do it in the reselling niche, in the reselling category. That's pretty dope. Some people set a timer for like an hour, but my phone is not fully charged. So we're gonna do this till I run out of this pile, or whenever I'm done talking. But I'm gonna just do it till I get rid of this pile. So cheers. All right. So before I went on the tangent, I mentioned my mental health was slipping, right? Mental health was slipping. I was doing eBay full time. I still do eBay full time, thankfully. But we'll get there. Ultimately, my mental health slipped. My financial situation slipped due to my business slipping. So ultimately, I had to get a job, part-time job. I wanted to find a job that was chill, that had minimal customer service. Because I've done customer service my whole life, man. Like, the way I am, the older I get, the less I'm willing to put up with people's crap. I don't know what it is. I'm 42 years old, done customer service ever since I was 16, sprinkle in some hospitality. And I started off, my first job was in the mall, little sports store. Got my first hotel job when I was 19, and I've been in hotels ever since, up until I went to rehab. So in regards to my mental health situation, it was a family issue that was affecting me, a family situation that was affecting me. That's the only thing, like I said, that really gets to me. I don't know what this shirt is. I don't know what that is. It says not just another pretty face, Mona Lisa, but I think it has that Arabic writing. A lot of this stuff I bought when I was new, a new reseller. Just went to a yard sale or like a sale at a church, bought some of this stuff because it was so cheap, and I thought it would do good. But the more I worked on eBay, the more I refined my picker. So therefore, I'm buying more quality items, stuff I know will sell, and I'm buying a lot of stuff that I've sold in the past. Anyway, So, family issue, that hit me hard. That hit me really hard, man. Like, that's the only thing that really gets me. So when that hits me hard, I'm not going to go into the exact situation, but I generally wake up in the morning happy, cheerful, ready to go. But when certain situations happen, when certain people, they might say something, they might do something, they might not do something, that really irritates me. Somebody I care about, you know. So that just affects my whole day. Whenever something like that happens, it's like they're sprinkling negative energy into my life, and that just kind of disrupts my whole day. It disrupts my aura, my spirit, my energy. I get a case of the efforts, like, God, man. So now when that happens, whenever I'm feeling like that, I just immediately remove myself from the situation. Whether it's leaving wherever I'm at, taking the dogs on a walk, or just coming to my storage. I love being here. I love my storage. I love my environment. It's just so chill. Super chill. Super chill. Because all that matters when I'm here is whatever I'm working on. So this is a bit of an escape, okay? So I let things get to me. My energy output towards my business at the time, my eBay business, just began to slip. Man. I got a case of the efforts. And what I mean by that is I have a normal listing amount on eBay every day, which means I list the same number of things on eBay every day. And at that time, it wasn't happening. I would only list like 1 or 2 things and just call it a day, you know? And that's just not my style, man. And my mind frame at that moment, at that time, just like addiction, just like relapsing, I have a shame and guilt because I put in minimal effort towards my business. I built this thing up from scratch. One of the first things I ever sold on eBay, one of the first things I ever resold was something that I owned, you know, and that's usually the way to do this. Start selling stuff around your house. That way you get used to shipping, the post office, the customer service, everything. It doesn't matter what platform you're on, eBay, Poshmark, Facebook Marketplace, it doesn't matter. Start selling stuff around your house. That way you get used to the whole process. So yeah, my business really took a hit. And it affected my business. It affected my wallet with the quickness, bro. With the quickness. So therefore, I was having trouble even putting gas in my car. I could still afford it because I get paid from eBay every day. But it got to the point where I was really stressing. I was making life decisions at the gas pump. You know, when things are going really well, like right now, I fill my gas tank up. Something as simple as that shouldn't be an issue. I fill my tank up every time. Just because it's one less thing I could do. Just because I could put that time towards something else. I could put that towards my business, my dogs, myself. You know? So I was having trouble putting gas in my car. I was having trouble affording to put gas in my car. I was having trouble paying my insurance, paying my storage, you know? And that didn't feel good. That didn't feel good at all. But it just didn't feel good, man. So I was day after day just walking around with this shame and guilt and fear. I was super scared, not knowing what the hell was gonna happen. I was super scared of my business failing. This business is the only thing I have in my life. I'm 42 years old. I had nothing to show from it. I had nothing to show. I still have nothing to show other than my dogs, my business, and myself. That's all I have. So right now I'm putting all of my energy into this business. And I don't even know if I honestly was trying prior to me getting that job. I didn't have the energy to even focus on anything that mattered other than my dogs, because my dogs have to eat, I have to eat. I had enough money for cigarettes, but things began to slip quick. I mentioned I get paid every day from eBay. Daily payouts. Every day except Sunday. So once my daily payouts, like I said, I get paid 6 days a week. Once that started stopping, once 6 days a week turned into 5 to 4 to 3, sometimes 1 day a week, I'd get a small payment from eBay. That's when I knew I had to do something, you know? I had to set aside how I was feeling and do something. I had to sack up and remedy that situation. Shout out Tucson. I had to sack up and fix my life. So I hopped on Indeed.com, all the job sites. I already have a resume. My last job was at prior to AutoZone, my last job was a life coach at a treatment center. So I just had to edit that part of my resume and submitted it, just submitted it to everybody. I was looking for driver jobs because I didn't want to be stuck in an office. I didn't want to go back to hotels. I didn't want to work anywhere standing up on my feet serving customers all day. That's just not what I wanted to do. I wanted something somewhat chill, somewhat where I could be on my own. and thankfully I got a reply from AutoZone. So so they hit me up and went in for interview, got my interview. I love interviews, man, because it's a chance to sell yourself, you know, to highlight your attributes. So I got the job. I felt like the biggest douche in the world, because nothing offense getting a job, but when I'm just speaking for myself, but I had the freedom of working for myself and do whatever I want every day. And I let that tank. I let that fall apart in my hands. It just fell right through, you know? And at that point, I started trading my time for dollar bills, getting paid minimum wage. It was a chill job. You know, I was only there for about a month and a half. It was chill, you know? I think it only had to take probably a good couple weeks for me to land that job. And also I don't know cars. I'm not a car guy. The job was a parts driver. So, great job, you know? So I'd be delivering parts to other, like, mechanic shops, auto shops. Whenever order would come in, I'd have to pull the part and get in the company car and take it to that shop. Great job, because I got to drive around. I would listen to podcasts. I would listen to other YouTubers' lives. Shout out Birdman. I'd listen to a lot of Birdman. I'd listen to a lot of Dopiates. I'd listen to a lot of Dr. Klein, Dr. Thomas Klein, just to keep my mind sharp. I love learning, so every once in a while I'll listen to some music, throw on the radio, but the majority of the time when I'm in my car, doesn't matter where I'm at, I listen to podcasts, something that stimulates my mind. So that's what I did. It was a cool job, chill job. Made the time go by quick. So, like I said, I was there for a year and a half, and hang on, people are driving by. Did I say year and a half? I was there for a month and a half, and that was the kick in the butt I needed, man. That was the kick in the butt I needed. Just waking up every day, knocking at my eBay work first thing in the morning, and then having to put on that red polo shirt. That was the kick in the butt I needed. I really didn't do much to correct my thinking other than whatever's going on at that moment, whatever situation I was in. I would just remove myself from that situation, go for a drive, take my dog to the park, or just come here and chill. That was really the only thing I did. I also, like I mentioned in my videos, I also was thinking about what part I played in that situation. So yeah, like I said, if I'm going through something, I like playing mental chess, mental judo. If something is affecting me, I still do it to this day. I find out what part I'm playing in that situation so I could correct it or remove myself from that situation if it's out of my control. And that works, it works. That way you could either change your behavior or see if you could go about that situation in a different way. Try and be a few steps ahead of that situation or that someone. In a way you could kind of manipulate the situation, not in a bad way, but you could kind of deter the situation, take it on a detour. That way it'll work out in your favor, if that makes sense. You could kind of manipulate the situation to work out in your favor. I guess that's one thing that I learned from being in active addiction, how to manipulate. My manipulate bone was probably one of the strongest bones. That was probably one of my strongest bones. That's what she said. So, look at this old post office shirt. It's a women's shirt from the 90s. Made in USA. So, other than removing myself from the situation, other than thinking what part I am playing in the situation, in helping others, including my dog, just going on more walks, more drives, that helped out as well. Helping other people, that always helps. In one of my previous videos, I talk about when I was in treatment, I made it a point to help at least one person a day. Makes you feel good, makes you feel useful, it makes you feel that's a bad buy. I wouldn't buy that ever again, because nobody's looking for that stuff. I just got an offer on my phone just got an eBay offer, but I'm gonna finish out this video before I do all that. Excuse me. So, removing yourself from the situation, thinking what part you're playing in the situation, helping others / your pets, go out and more walks, more drives. It'll make them feel good. It'll help you reset, recompose yourself, get some fresh air. That helps. Manipulate the situation if you can in your favor, Be a few steps ahead. Make certain moves to where that situation could work out in your favor. It's not a bad way of manipulating, It's only bad if you're doing bad things, but yeah, there's sometimes you have no control over certain situations, and you just have to take it, embrace the pain, and keep pushing forward. This is an old Italy shirt. Yeah, I guess I'll keep that. Put that one on auction. This is from a haunted house here in Tucson. Nightfall. But I'm not gonna keep that. So I was at AutoZone for the month and a half. While I was there, I began to get sick and tired of the job because that management was crap. The manager had health issues, and she just sat on her ass the majority of the time. There was one supervisor out there, a female, and she was dope, you know. She was real cool. Her and I got along really good. She's a young girl, like 22, something like that. And she knew her stuff, man. She worked at multiple AutoZones, and her boyfriend, he worked at a car shop, and he had his own car shop. They got their own business. So whenever I had certain situations, man, like, because I didn't know much, you know, on the times where I didn't have any runs, I'd be helping people, you know, check people out. And my car knowledge is not up to par, you know, with like the standard man, you know, the standard male. Yeah, I know how to change my car oil, I know how to change the windshield wipers, basic stuff like that, but actually wrenching on it, it's something I've never really done. There's certain things that you could do with YouTube, so depending on the situation, you know. But other than that, my car knowledge is crap. So, but ultimately, I had to quit that job. I left it mid-shift. The manager, I'm just gonna say it was due to the manager, okay? It was due to the manager, and I just had to quit mid-shift because her unorganization was starting to mess with my organization, if that makes sense. Her unorganization was starting to mess with my organization. Write that down. So it was making my job harder, and I just had to peace out. I hopped on the YouTube live right after, pulled it over, started talking to some of my subs, let everybody know I had to peace out, letting everybody know they will never see me in that red polo again. That was a good day, really good day. But all throughout that process, I was feeling like crap. Every day I would wake up, knock out my eBay work, put on the red polo, and then have to go to work. I wasn't used to that. Like I said, my last job was at the treatment center. I was a life coach. I left there in 2019 and went full-time on eBay. Rack by rack. Shelf by shelf, I mean. Shelf by shelf. Shirt by shirt. Rack by rack. Payday by payday. And I'm just glad I am where I am today, man. That job, that whole experience was the wake-up check, or the wake-up call that I needed. It was the reality check that I needed to get my stuff together. to start making power moves, start making moves, not only for me in this current time, this current situation I'm in, but for the future, man. I am sacrificing so much right now to make the rest of my life easier. I'm sacrificing so much. I don't even go to family parties. I don't like family parties. I love my family, but I don't like the parties. I'm weird like that. I'm weird like that. It may sound like an a-hole to some, but they aren't going to list things on eBay for me. They aren't going to come here, do what I'm doing. They aren't gonna go through these shirts. I have to do that. So I am sacrificing so much. That way I could just make the rest of my life easier. My goal with this is I don't plan on doing eBay forever. I plan on getting this business to where it needs to be, to where it can run itself the majority of time. Eventually I'm going to hire people to do my shipping. Maybe do my listings. They aren't going to submit the listings. They aren't going to press the submit button, but they're going to make the drafts, the listing drafts. And I am going to be the one that approves each listing, revise it if I have to, and then upload it onto eBay. That's a big responsibility, and not many people could do that, because it takes a lot of knowledge, a lot of brand knowledge, you know. So I'm still growing, guys. I'm 42 years old. I had to start my life over at age 39. 42 right now. I have my own business that's thriving, growing every week overall. You know, I'm not in business just for today. I'm not in business for this month. Some days I make more money than others. I'm in business year after year. As long as I'm making more money, as long as I'm paying more taxes, then I'm on the right track. I don't mind paying taxes, because that means I'm just making more money, you know? This type of job that I do, this reselling job, like, we don't have a standard W-2, you know? We have to pay taxes. So perfecting my systems and the whole financial aspect is what I'm really trying to, what I need to tighten up. There's a lot I need to tighten up. I don't know everything about this job, but, you know, I'm doing research every day, and it's paying off, man. It is paying off. You know, I'm thankful as to where I'm at. You know, I'm thankful where I'm at. I started this channel back in November, but I didn't have my first upload, I think, until like a month after. But you know, I'm thankful for you guys. So with this video, I guess I needed to vent, but venting with a purpose. My phone is dying. Venting with a purpose, okay? Providing some sort of value. I try to provide some sort of value on this channel. I don't like putting out my eBay store on my community page, because I don't need your money, you know? There's other channels out there that do that, but I'm not here to take money from you guys. I'm here to share my experience, you know? There's other channels out there for that. You are not gonna see or hear me asking for anything monetarily from you guys, you know? I might ask for advice, or I might ask what's going on in your world, but I didn't start this channel to promote my eBay business. I've had a few people ask me what my eBay store is, you know, and I tell them to DM me on Instagram or email me, and I'll give you my store information. eBay's pretty particular as far as traffic. They're one of the hardest sites out there to sell on. So they're really particular. If I put my store information online and I get a bunch of people just going to my store online and just looking around, curious, you know, nothing wrong with that. But if a lot of people go to my store and not buy anything, eBay looks at it as if my items suck or the price too high. This is my biggest source of income, and I'm proud of the direction it's going, and I'm not gonna jeopardize that, you know? It's nothing against whoever's asking. It's nothing against anybody. It's just, I need to protect this business. You know, I'm thankful as to the direction I'm going. I don't want to take a hit right now. You know, I can't take a hit right now because I'm just doing the best I can, and I'm thankful for the results that are happening. So I just got a few more shirts left, but my phone is dying. I hope you guys liked this type of content. Hope you got something out of it. A lot of gems in here, man. Some you guys may know, but you know, I still hope you got something from it. And if you think this could help somebody, share it with them. Thanks for listening.